Hello twin flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Let's jump straight into the reading. Actually, I don't have updates or previews, so yeah, just ready to go straight into DM and DF energy. As always, we'll start with an oracle deck, and today I've got my Whispers of the Ocean deck. Haven't used it for a while, so really excited since we are almost saying goodbye to summer, at least in the northern hemisphere. But yeah, let's enjoy it while it lasts. And then I'll move straight into the energies for the DMDF collectives, the connection itself, and I'll finish off with some messages between the twins with my talking cards, the Hermit Tarot cards. All right, let's get started. Happy to have you guys here, whether you're new or you're coming back. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do so, hopefully, if you like my content. And of course, click the like button on the video. This helps me circulate this message with more people. Okay, for Divine Feminines, we have two cards today. Dive into new depths and break through to new dimensions. I would say they're quite kind of on the same vibe, and we see a little bit similar pictures. I mean, it's kind of like this is diving in, this is diving out, but to me it just means that depth sometimes does not, like, you know, we're speaking figuratively anyway, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean, I would say, if we speak about certain aspects of the spiritual path, you know, of our life, it doesn't have to be that we, like, for example, we see a challenge somewhere, I don't know, for example, a challenge not like with time management, not having enough time to cope with everything that you have planned for yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean that diving to new depths means to go deeper into that, of like, you know, I don't have time, I don't know, for meditation twice a day, for example, right? So I'm like, okay, what do I do? How can I work around that? Or, you know, like to work on the meditation issue, right? How do I solve that? But instead, maybe see in that specific example of how can you maybe like zoom out and see how you can manage your time differently so you can actually make time. Instead of finding a workaround for the meditation time, maybe see, like, look at the broader picture, right? And maybe the thing you need to work on or change is actually has nothing to do with meditation. I don't know, maybe cut down on watching TV shows, right? Or maybe there's some friend that is wasting your time, or is like, you know, you enjoy spending time with them, but you realize that it doesn't bring much value to your life, right? And maybe you can cut down on that, at least by 20 minutes that you need for meditation. Something along those lines, right? So depth doesn't necessarily mean that you dive into that specific question. Sometimes depth can also mean diving out of it so that you can see the broader picture and focus on what is actually the cause of this challenge. There is a deeper meaning to what is happening. You might be looking at this from the surface and missing what is really going on. Take a moment to pause and breathe. Allow yourself to dive deeper into what it is you're feeling about your current situation. And also, a new endeavor is on the horizon. Innovative energy wants to burst forth into your consciousness. So yeah, it's a bit of a paradox here, that when you dive deeper and when you pay more attention to your feelings and, you know, what is really going on for your feelings and emotions about the situation, you might actually find, as a result, you might find a breakthrough and get some innovative ideas. Yes, big time. Energetically, it makes sense as well from like a quantum physics perspective. Don't have time to dive into that, but yeah, just some food for thought for you, Divine Feminines. Let's see what we have for DMs today. Help appears in various ways. Number 35. I love this, especially since in the last reading we were seeing, you know, the dynamics of DMs, communicating with other people, working with other people. So this is brilliant. I love it. There's much support for you. Sometimes you may get so adrift you forget to look to the support systems that are with you continually. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's also kind of a vibe of a different perspective, maybe, right? And not just looking at it straight, like in a very linear way of like, how do people do this, or how have I always done it, right? This is also asking for a bit of that innovation through a different perspective. And just remember that help is always around, and another part of it is be open to that help, right? So help may be just around the corner, just like literally a few feet away from you. But if you're not open to that, it's like, yes, yes, please, universe, I need this now, then you might as well just walk past it and miss it, right? Literally or figuratively. Okay, I'm gonna be using the Thelema deck today. Also, haven't used it for a while, so excited about this deck. It's so beautiful. What do we have for Divine Feminine energy right now? What do we need to know about Divine Feminine Collective? King of Wands. What about Divine Masculine? I'll pull some clarifiers too. Yay, jumped out. Nine of Pentacles. Ooh, love this. What about the connection of the connection energy at this moment? We have Knight of Swords. All right, let's pull some clarifiers. Please clarify King of Wands for the feminines. Of course, if you're interested in private services, like a reading or a coaching session, do not hesitate to reach out for an email address. And very soon, those will also be available to book through my website. Okay. It's a very self-reliant energy that I'm feeling today for the twins. It's like a reminder of how powerful you are, how much you can do without relying on some external experts in the area. It's always good to have that, right? But sometimes it's also so important to remember how much you can actually accomplish with the right mindset, with the right energy about it. Yeah, speaking of which, got the Strength card for the connection. Okay, so Divine Feminines, we have actually for DMs, we got quite a few cards of clarification, so be ready for a bit of a story. For feminines, what I'm getting here, to me, this King of Wands is actually, like, usually to me it's a Divine Masculine vibe, but what I'm getting here is a new twist on this situation where Divine Feminines have been shown that they don't need masculine to be able to accomplish certain things. Maybe there were some things in the past where Divine Feminine was thinking, well, when, you know, I have that some special someone in my life, that life partner, we are gonna then fill in the blanks. Travel the world, buy a house, do this, do that. And now it's almost like, but it was like the temporary situation was kind of a burden. And now it's the new revelation where Divine Feminine is shown that that kind of puts you, even if it's indirect intention, it still puts you in a waiting energy if you're thinking that way, right? And even if, for example, it makes sense to buy a house when you are together, because maybe while you're by yourself, you don't really need it. Like, you don't want it, you know, just to be by yourself in a big house that you need to take care of, right? Could be very sensible decision not to do it right now. But in this example, if it is your dream, you know, you can take steps to research, I don't know, locations, or think about designs, or think about, do you want to build something of your own, or get something, you know, pre-owned, fix it up, or whatever, right? Like those kind of things that will definitely, and understand based on that how much budget you want and you need. And even if it's going to be like a, you know, a little, saving a little bit every month for that dream, it's still gonna make a difference, because the universe will get your intention, will hear the message, right? There will be that manifestation journey that will start now. And I mean, use your own example, of course, what you are trying to achieve. What is it that's something that you're waiting the Divine Masculine to step in with you and do that something together, right? This is for you to acknowledge that you have that energy and you have your inner masculine, right? And you don't really need to wait for someone to make your dreams come true. Okay, for the feminines, we have Nine of Pentacles, clarified by a Magician, Six of Cups, King of Cups, and Queen of Wands. Wow, it's all kinds of energies about love, wisdom, and again, independence, right? So I was talking about the self-reliant energy, and for the masculines, again, this is a feminine figure, but I'm getting this is so much about divine masculines themselves. And Nine of Pentacles is that single person card, but more importantly, it's a card of someone who is self-sufficient, right? It's the word that basically wraps it up. It's someone who can stand up for themselves and doesn't let anybody burst their bubble, right? They don't need anybody to protect them. They are that something. They can do it with their own energy. It's somebody who is loving and is not afraid of sharing that love with others, is not afraid of making decisions out of love, because there is this mastery of emotional intelligence and of the knowing yourself I'm getting here. The Six of Cups, yeah, it's being grateful and remembering the good in people in different interactions, right? And of course, we're all human, we all have our shadow side, and I don't think that, especially if you're an adult, right, in the childhood, sometimes we idolize certain relationships. But as adults, we can't really idolize any of our relationships with real people, right? Because they're real people and they make mistakes, or sometimes it's just about us and them seeing things differently that we don't like, right? That's where it can get emotional, because like, how can you say that? Or wow, they don't agree with this, right? So there is still a bit of that duality, no matter how close that person is to you, how much love you have for them, right? But this is remembering the best times, the good times with people, being able to overcome, I don't know, a grudge, sadness, heartache, and be able to keep those great memories alive that will keep you going, that will keep inspiring you, right? That's what we get from having a relationship with other people, no matter what that relationship is, at what level, right? We get inspired by all that light that the person has, but by who they are, right? How they do it, whatever they do. And then the Magician, of course, this is the direct power of manifestation, and to me is very much also connected to the Nine of Pentacles vibe, where there is this strong realization that I can make things happen, right? I don't need, I don't know, to win $1 million or to wait for some important partners to start working with me, or to wait for, for my life partner to step by so that, I don't know, we can combine our budgets and accomplish things together. Or I don't need to wait till I get a personal assistant or till I'm retired to do certain things, right? It's about feeling strongly, feeling powerful to fulfill your dreams. And the same way as for the DF, I'm getting the energy that, the message that if it's not a dream for like tomorrow, if it's something longer term, even if it's like sensibly, truly, authentically your dream for some time in the future, you can still set kind of like plant that seed and start working towards it, whether it's like by the decisions you're making today, certain investments, how you plan your resources. For some people, it might actually be about health, for example, because maybe your achievements or your plans require certain fitness from you, right? Or be healthy in a certain way. And, in order to be there in, let's say, 10 years, why not, right? Maybe it means that you're taking care of yourself and of your health starting now in a way that you can actually do those things. I have friends, because I'm a dancer, I have friends in the dance world that have plans for, how long they still want to be able to compete in competitions. And after, let's say, 35, it can get pretty exhausting, to be honest, for most of the professional dancers. So, for example, if someone sets one of them sets a goal to be able to dance in a, I don't know, Blackpool competition when they're 40, right? It still means that you're kind of, it makes sense for you to work towards that goal, to take care of yourself so you can do that at 40. So you're not like out of your breath or your body aches after every practice, that you can actually enjoy it, right? That's what I mean here. Okay, messages, the connection energy. So there, the Knight of Swords clarified by strength. So this is both of the twins need strength to to look the truth in the eye. And this is about, and the Knight actually is always usually pictured alone as well, right? It's about seeing the truth that you are that knight. You are your noble knight that, like, we have that idea from fairy tales about noble knight that protects, that kills the dragon and just, keeps the kingdom safe, right? And in your story, Twin Flames, you are that person, right? There's no, of course, it's you and your connection with the divine. But on this earthly plane, right? If we're talking about people, it's not about relying on somebody else. Your twin flame, your mentor, your friends, your boss, whatever. It's about you, really, at the end of the day. And it takes some strength and courage to admit that and to walk this path with that idea in mind. Let's get some messages from DMs to DFs first of all. We have light. If I follow you, I could lose everything. And wrongful advice. Yeah, so what I'm getting here is that the DMs have gotten some advice or have listened to someone who was advising against your connection. Like somebody who was saying to them, like, this is unwise, or, it's great that you want to follow your heart, but what are you going to do about X, Y, Z, right? So whatever somebody told them, it could be, for a few people, I'm getting it's them doing the self-talk. So they had a conversation in their head with themselves, thought it through, decided, no, if I do this, I will lose everything. I could lose everything. Whatever it was, whether it was somebody else or them talking to themselves, thinking it through, they realize now that it was wrongful information. Like, it definitely lacked some info there. Well, first of all, it lacked info in terms of, like, I didn't have all the facts, right? But also, by now, because of the additional life experience between then and now, they can see how it can work. It's like this enlightenment point. That's how I'm getting the light card here. Because certain experiences in life showed them how this could work, how they showed the connectedness in those places where they had gaps. Like, what about this? How's that gonna play out? What about this here, right? Now they're seeing how it's possible, that it is possible and it should be, right? It just now I'm getting it's more about, and with this 5 energy, it's actually like this transformation into the new mode of life, where going forward, they will be focused more on how to make it happen, how to get closer to that point where they can actually implement it in 3D. Right, so it will take some time, but the transformation has started, where with the decisions they make, with the communications they have, they are bringing it closer now, rather than just completely ignoring it, dismissing it, and thinking that, no, it's not gonna work. What about divine feminines? What messages do we have for DMs from DFs? Wow, a lot. Okay, some 3s here. I would do anything for you. One of my favorite cards in this deck. I want to start a family with you. Look at that. 2 10s. You are so very special. And look at this. This is like, I would do anything. I want to start a family with you. Both of them are 10 of Pentacle vibes. So it's a very practical approach to it. And you're very special. Yeah, beautiful. Now, we also have a couple of cards about third parties, where it says there is someone else and I think we should see other people. So to me, Divine Feminine says here that even though I have so much love for you, you mean everything to me, I definitely want to start a family with you and be with you. but it still doesn't mean that I'm gonna be putting pressure on you or like sit and wait, right? Neither of those things are gonna be helpful. So we might as well, while we are still preparing ourselves for this beautiful partnership, we might as well live our life, live our best life, however we can, right? And of course, someone else doesn't have to be a love partner. It can be a business partner. For example, you had the thought that, well, all of my examples sound very good for this, but for example, even buying a house, right? Like you thought when you are together with your twin flame, you'll buy a house. Maybe it makes sense for some of you to still do that, but buy a house with someone else, right? Maybe with some friends, or at least invest, I don't know, there could be like more complicated projects, like you want your parents to live in a better place, right? So maybe you get a little bit bigger house so you can also live there with some privacy, but make some arrangements for that, something like that. So be creative with that approach. It doesn't just have to be that way. And like I was saying throughout the reading, you don't have to wait, right? You can, in this case, this third energy could be someone else who can help you accomplish your dreams, right? And definitely if you have that energetic alignment with a person, it means they were actually sent to you by the universe, by the divine, to help accomplish what you want to accomplish, right? Because we also have free will, and there are a lot of manipulations, and like this journey takes years usually. So it doesn't mean that you have to kind of just stay in a sort of anticipation until that magical time happens, and then you can do all of these wonderful things, right? That's not how it's supposed to work. And part of that preparation, eventually you will see that was in making your plans, having those plans realized in life, and making your dreams come true. There we go. Okay, that's where I'm gonna leave you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon. Bye, everyone.